Hi everyone, this is John Breen, and today I'm going to show you how to use the spending tab in Wealth Vision. Now, we believe that cash flow is really the foundation of your finances, and this is true whether you're just building up your savings or trying to plan for a worry-free retirement. And that's why this spending feature is such an important tool and can help you understand where your money is going and what your cash flow looks like from month to month. But before we get started, it's actually really helpful to adjust one setting in your Wealth Vision account. So to do that, we're going to click on Settings in the upper right-hand corner, and then Privacy, and you can change the spending permissions to Limited. What this does is it allows us to see the general categories of your spending, but not any specific transactions. We don't really care about that. It's just helpful to know exactly what cash flow looks like rather than just a ballpark estimate when we're doing planning and reviewing for you. So after you've linked your credit cards or your bank accounts, you can click on the Spending tab. And this overview page will show you a pie chart of where your money has been spent during a given period of time. And you can change that time frame from this month to last month or really any other custom range. So before we look at some other features in this spending overview, let's take a look at some specific transactions. So here we can see all of the transactions that have occurred on your credit cards or on your bank account, and by default, Wealth Vision will automatically add historical transactions for the last 90 days once you link your account. And again, you can change this date range, you can view specific accounts or categories, or we can search through the transactions. So once you link accounts, Wealth Vision will actually automatically categorize each transaction for you. Now, it'll do that based on the vendors, but you may notice that some transactions aren't categorized properly. This is a very easy change to make, and you can actually teach the program to learn certain vendors and categories in the future. So let's take a look here, and okay, so this donations transaction, that's not a household services, that's charity. So we can click on household services, and we can change that to charity. So now in the that transaction has been recategorized to charity. And maybe the loaf and jug, that was gas, not groceries. We can type in gas and change that transaction. So one other, maybe this King Soopers one, this came in as unclassified, and many transactions may come in that way when you first link accounts. So we can change that to groceries. And then actually, if you click on details, we can create a rule that says anytime there's a King Soopers transaction, it's categorized as a grocery transaction. Let's see, look at some others here. There's some transfers. Maybe if you're transferring cash between your checking and savings account or to an investment account, you don't want to include those in the charts and the budgets. So we can tap on the transfers here, and we can exclude that so it doesn't show up on our charts or on our other graphs. So if you also have some specific categories in mind that aren't on the standard list, you can actually create your own categories by clicking on this Settings button. And there you can add some specific transaction types under a larger category. For example, maybe in education, we could add tuition or supplies. And now that category would be available when you're modifying the transaction. You can also review the rules that you've created that teach the system to remember certain vendors or categories. And then you can also exclude entire accounts from the budgets and charts. Maybe if you have an HSA account that you don't want to have show up on the budgets and charts, you can exclude that. So after you've modified some of your transactions, we can go back to the overview page, and you'll notice that the pie chart has changed slightly. This is also a really good way to just see the transactions over a given period of time for a certain category. Like if you want to see all the unclassified transactions for this year, you can view those related transactions specifically. Now, one of my favorite features is access by viewing the spending history from the overview page. So you can change the date range here, but you can graphically see what your net cash flow looks like from month to month, looking at the total income, the total expenses, and then this line shows where that net cash flow number came in. And then the last feature we'll look at is the budgeting tab. Now, most people might be hesitant to create a budget, but the tool will actually automatically do that for you. And after you make sure your transactions are properly categorized, we'll just click Create an Auto Budget. Now you can track where your expenses lie throughout the month and what your average spending looks like for the month. And of course, you can add and delete, you can modify transactions either to be more general or specific. You can change the numeric values on the budget, but each time the program will assist you on giving you kind of a realistic or average historical number for that category. So that about covers the spending tool on WealthVision. Again, these features are built to help clients better prepare for their future and to have a realistic understanding of where their cash flow is at any given time. So be sure to check out some of our other instructional videos on Account View and on WealthVision. And as always, if you have questions about this or any of the other tools, please don't hesitate to reach out. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.